Hey guys, how's it going? This is Alberto with A to Z Tactical Academy, and today I want to talk about knife attackers. Knife attackers, and what can you do about it? There was unfortunately 3 people killed by some deranged individual in New York very recently that basically was just running down the sidewalk with a knife and managed to first kill 2, put another one in the hospital in critical condition. That person has actually passed, unfortunately. So 3 murders with a knife, right? So I want to talk to you about what could you do if you're facing a attacker with a knife. Knife attacks are extremely dangerous. They are more likely to cause major blood loss, which is extremely critical for surviving an event, right? So a gunshot wound, for example, is a small penetrating wound. It most likely will have some damage internally, but some bleeding internally. Most criminals would probably use ball ammo or range ammo, right? It'll pass right through and it's a small hole. And medical science can actually put you together a little easier if you have a gunshot wound than if you have a knife attack. So why should you prepare for knife attacks? Well, knives are a lot easier to get. You don't need a background check. You don't need to have anything. In most cases, knives can be found in the trash, right? People discard knives that they don't want to use anymore. You're in your house, you bought a new set of steak knives, those short ones, or you bought a new chef knife, and you throw away the old one, or you send it to metal recycling, and now it's in a pile of garbage, right? So it's very easy to find one. I actually have one here that I found in a bin. So this one doesn't even have a handle. It was probably why it was thrown away. So it doesn't have a handle, but it is a knife. It's not very sharp at all, but it definitely can penetrate and cause some injury. That individual in New York put gloves on. His knives did have a handle. I put them right over here. But this one here is extremely dangerous. This can be found in the trash. Most people that live on the street or criminals can fashion some sort of a weapon, a stabbing weapon or a slashing weapon, virtually out of anything, right? You can sharpen a soda can, you can sharpen a piece of pipe, you can sharpen a piece of rebar, anything, right? These are extremely dangerous. So what should you do if you're faced with an attacker with some improvised weapon like this? And put this away. First thing you should do, run, right? There is no squaring up with somebody, even if you are carrying a knife yourself. Run. You should be aware of your surroundings. You should be very suspicious of individuals approaching your area of personal boundary, especially with hands in pockets, hoodies, hiding something in their hands. If you can't see their hands, be extra suspicious if they're coming close enough. How close is close enough? Well, that's up to you to decide, right? But don't be afraid of opening distance, which is going to give you the most amount of advantage of doing something. So yeah, number 1, run. Don't be in it. Do not square up with anybody with a knife, even if you have a knife yourself. Rule number 2, run. There's really no joking about this. It's not cowardice. Knife fights and knife wounds are absolutely horrible. Number 3, if you get a chance, get a force multiplier. So unfortunately, this is New York, right? So you couldn't carry a gun. But here in Arizona, I can carry my gun. And even if I had a gun, if somebody squares up with me or is running at me with a knife, unless I can do a draw and first shot to center mass in under 1 second or a second, let's say just benchmark 1 second, right? They're going to get to me before I get my gun. So running is the best option. The other one is improvise environmental tools, if you will, right? Find a stick. If you have a flashlight, and I have one here, this could be something you can use at least to do something, right? To inflict some pain in the other attacker. OC spray, fantastic thing. Just spray them out. It will take a little bit to act, but at least it will shorten the duration of their stamina, because it's just so horrible to have OC spray in your eyes and nose. But other than that, just don't be in it, right? Don't be in it. If you have to, then there's some things you can do as far as like techniques that I am going to address in another video, but none of this you can actually learn by watching YouTube, right? You're going to have a partner and train with that partner so that you can learn how to manipulate your body, how to do cuts, how to fend off an attacker, how to flank them, and do something like that. So you do need sparring for that kind of stuff. Lastly, I want to mention that you do have to have a plan, right? So if I am solo in the city and somebody is coming at me with bad intentions, I'm going to run. Period. End of story. I'm going to run. I'm going to try to put an object in between me. So I'm going to surround a car, get behind the fence, get behind a bench on the sidewalk, get something that they have to go around to get to you, to buy time and to buy options, right? But if you're traveling with people, family, kids, your significant other, whatever, talk to them that if that has to happen, or if that comes to happen, not to stay there yelling and screaming, what are you doing, this and this and that. Everybody needs to run. They need to get out of there. So when I go to cities like New York with my wife, I tell her, I said, if you see me going into action, you leave, because I don't want to worry about you and me. I have to worry just about me. So anyway, this is a short little video, not a whole lot of meat in it, I get it, but biggest lesson I want to give you is knives are extremely dangerous. Don't square up with somebody with a knife. You're just gonna get cut badly, or worse. So just get out of there, open distance, put an object in between you and the attacker, even if it's a backpack, right? Just something in between, a bench, a park, a tree, a car, get out of there. And then get a force multiplier. So stay safe, get some training in combatives, especially with tools. And yeah, see you next time.